you know about me in the kitchen, eating chicken chopper ramen with my best friend? The ramen never ends. I love it so much, boy. I finna eat boxes of 10. Listen to me, so Russia all over. That's how I be. Squad up with me. We just go eat ramen all day. We don't play. We just.
What's good, peeps? It's your boy Eduard Todor. So for those of you that follow my Instagram, you guys already know that my camera, my camera is being repaired right now, which is why the quality of the videos are kind of a bit shit right now. It should take about 2 to 4 weeks apparently, which I don't know why it takes so long, but I had to do it. So yeah, I'm just using my phone at the moment. But before we get into the main part of the video, I just want to address something real quickly that really got on my nerves. So basically, in the Aaron Crow video from yesterday, I said that, you know, the knife is more dangerous than the nunchucks, and, you know, they should have reversed that. And a bunch of people were like, no. Nunchucks, way more lethal, way more dangerous, way more blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, I get it. People watch too many movies nowadays, and Hollywood's been, you know, at it, you know what I'm saying? But in the real world, let's put it this way, right? There's a reason why criminals and, you know, murderers tend to favor knives over nunchucks. You don't really hear many people getting, you know, murdered with a nunchuck, but a knife just stabbed in the heart. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason, okay? And I don't care if you're Bruce Lee. I don't care if you're, you know, the Kung Fu master, right? If someone closes the distance on you and you have nunchucks, they become pretty inefficient, okay? So if you can close the gap, right? If you can corner them, if you can get, let's say I'm trying to fight a guy with nunchucks. Why the hell I would do that? I don't know. But let's say I was, right? If I can close the gap between them, so if I can tackle them, you know, then the weapon becomes pretty inefficient. You know, yeah, pretty much the only thing is he'll hit me coming in and I might get knocked out, but you know, you can cover up, you might break an arm, but at the very least, you're close. It becomes inefficient. Now it's a grappling type of thing. And, you know, the nunchucks are pretty, you know, I mean, they're dangerous, don't get me wrong, but a knife, you close a distance on a knife, you're dead. So I definitely would go for a knife over nunchucks. And, you know, I don't care who you are. If someone closes that distance on you, with a knife, I mean, you better run. That's the only thing you can do. And you see all these knife disarms and stuff. I would not screw around with those. There's a saying in a knife fight, the loser dies in the street and the winner dies in the hospital, right? There's just no way. Like, knives are just not, you don't play with that, man. I'm telling you. So that's just what I wanted to say, because I saw so many people, oh no, nunchucks, kung fu, all this stuff. Dude, that's all well and good, but when it comes to getting stabbed, it's no fun. So yeah, anyway, I received an interesting message from someone, and I haven't done one of these videos in a while where I just sit and talk to the camera and kind of talk about things that I'm thinking about and kind of the things that I do in my performances and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to do one of these videos again. And let me just read out the message. So this guy says, I'm a decent entertainer, but I think I just take it personally when people say things like, I know how you did that, then proceed to try and explain. It's like I'm doing them a favor by entertaining them, and all they want to do is be critical and not enjoy the art that's being displayed. I just wonder how I can keep a positive attitude when people treat my magic as a puzzle rather than enjoy the art. I know what you mean. Perhaps is there a way I could prepare them to relax rather than be critical? That is, you touched on a good point there. And he also says, I do like the idea of flowing in and out of tricks and freestyling. Thanks for responding. So basically, he asked in a previous message about heckling and how you deal with hecklers. And it's a kind of a multifaceted response. The very first thing I would say with hecklers is, the more tools you have in your arsenal, the more prepared you are to deal with anything that comes up, and the more prepared you are to freestyle in and out of, you know, things. For example, like I always said that you can do pretty much miracles with a switch, a force, and a control. And so if I say that, then what's the point of learning any other, you know, more moves? What's the point of knowing more switches? What's the point of knowing more controls? Well, there is a point, because if someone figures out your, you know, the timing of your switch or the timing of your control or something like that, then now all of a sudden you don't have that switch to use anymore. So you have to rely on something else. And if all you know are those three things, then you can't do anything else, right? Whereas if you have a lot of things at your disposal, then you're very well prepared to deal with whatever, comes up. So for example, in my ambitious card routine, I have I have a lot of ways to basically take a card, right? It's a very bad angle, but you can see this. Take a card, put it in the middle, comes to the top, right? Every time I do the ambitious card, I do basically a different method. So even if they're able to figure out the first one, the second one is a different method, the third one's a different method. So I have, I think, 4 or 5 different methods in my ambitious card that I use pretty regularly. And so that way I can show the same thing over and over and over and over, but because it's not the same thing, they're not going to figure it out. So every time they feel like they figured something out, I do use a different method, and all of a sudden it throws the first guess that they had completely off, because it's saying, oh, well, he couldn't have done that because this time he didn't do that. And so you can kind of stay ahead of your audience by using various methods for various things. Now, that is kind of like the skill set wise, so the better you get, the better you become at being able to handle those things and handle people figuring out certain moves, or sometimes I'll have people that already know about a specific move, right? Like the DL. People come up to me like, oh, I know the DL, right? Like sometimes I'll be gigging and they say that to me, and I love it when they tell me that, because then I use my other 5 different methods of doing, different things, and they're stumped. So that's the number one thing, is just get really good, right? Now the second thing is, I think a lot of magicians tend to put themselves on a level where they almost pretend like, they're up here and the audience is down here, and oh yeah, you see this? You're not gonna catch it. I'm smarter than you, all that stuff. So with that kind of attitude, you're already setting up and conditioning the audience to be defensive, to not want to get fooled, to not want to experience that magic, and you're conditioning them to want to get like, I hate this guy, let me catch him out, and then I can feel superior. Whereas if you ask like someone, I think Danny Ortiz is a perfect example. He is so friendly, so he's on such a level with you that it puts you off your defenses, right? You just feel relaxed. So then when he shows you something, it's more of a vibe of, yo, let me show you something that I've been working on. Look how cool this thing is, right? As opposed to, I'm up here, you're down there, right? In fact, Danny Ortiz, one of his main things is like, he doesn't even know how it works. Like, I don't know. How does it work? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So with Danny, it's like, he's on the same level with you that you just feel like you're in it together, and you're almost like at the same level and magical things are happening and you both don't understand how it works, Now, you don't have to take that approach of not knowing how, pretending to not know how something works, but it's more about, not necessarily outright lying to your audience. Okay, so I see a lot of people, a lot of magicians that they kind of, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but they claim that the card magically moves through the pack, or, the card vanishes from here and reappears there. And it's like, this isn't the, 18th century. No one's going to believe that a card actually went through, you know what I mean? Like, it's rare that someone actually believes in real magic nowadays, especially in the, first world countries and the Western world, I guess. So, it just seems like if it's such an obvious lie, it just seems so over the top that they're just like, dude, I want to catch you out because you're straight up lying to my face. Whereas when I do my ambitious card, I don't talk about, the card moving magically from here to here. I say, this is how gamblers cheat. And let me show you. This is what you have to do if you're a magician. If you want to do, you put it in the middle, but it looks like it goes in the middle, but it's really on top. I'm giving them a more truthful view of what's going on, but I'm not actually revealing anything, and they're still being fooled. But it feels like we're on the same level, and I think a lot of heckling comes from that disparity of it's very obvious the magician's outright lying to you. You can't figure out, so it's pissing you off, and then you just want to make him look shitty because it's like, you lying to me, you know. But if it feels like the magician's on your side and he's like showing you some stuff, like, bro, check this out, you know, I've been doing this for 10 years, let me show you something that's insane. Then all of a sudden they want to know, they want to be in there, they want to be on your side. It's like, holy shit, this guy's cool. And you know, it's almost like they want to, you know, be around the entertainment, and it's more like, oh, this guy's the magician, bro, come here, check this guy out, check this guy out. They almost want to show you off and, you know, be proud of what you're doing. So it just depends on what kind of vibe you're giving, you know. Especially at, you know, in places that's kind of trendy and things like that, people aren't going to be super hyped for you to pretend like you're pulling rabbits out and stuff like that. If you're cool and if you're, you know, likable and all those things kind of come together, it's your attitude and your vibe, people are gonna wanna be entertained. And yeah, so you just gotta think, am I giving people kind of a truthful view? And I mean, you still gotta lie to them, obviously, but they know they're being lied to, but it almost feels like they're getting an insider view, you know. They're getting that, like, oh, we're in a cool club, that's secret club, he's showing me some shit that's no one else has seen, you know. Wow, this is all insider. And the third thing, some people are just going to be difficult, and for those people, you can either ignore, which I usually do. If I can, I just won't even perform to them. But a lot of the times you just gotta shut them down. So you can do like kind of a comedy type heckling shutdown. You know, you can just kind of humiliate them in front of the crowd and get the crowd on your side. You know, paper overhead is great for that kind of thing. But you know, you just refuse to perform to them, or you gotta humiliate them, essentially. And you know, usually I just refuse, because what's the point? You know, if you don't want to be entertained, if you're just gonna be an asshole, well, I'm not gonna perform for you. You just, you know. But you have to question yourself: is this really what's happening, or am I just mechanically not that skilled, so people are heckling me because they're figuring out what I'm doing? Or is my attitude up here, audience is down here, and so they sense that, and you know, they just want to see me fail because they want to level that playing field. So it's really a combination, and you gotta really question yourself before you really claim, oh, you know, they're just being difficult, they're just being assholes, they don't enjoy my craft. You have to really question yourself: am I really good enough, and am I, you know, performing in a way that allows people to relax, you know, to let these defenses down, you know. Because, and you know, oftentimes people will grab the cards out of my hands and they say, do something now. And I'm saying, look, I don't claim to have powers. Like, this is sleight of hand magic. That sleight of hand. You see these hands? I need these hands, you know. And then they kind of like start to understand that, oh shit, I'm kind of being the asshole here. And then they give them back, and then I show them something, and it's like, but look, this is actually what we learn in magic. Look, I'll show you. You put it in the middle. It looks like it goes in the middle, but really it's on top. And then they kind of start to relax. So, you know, sometimes they don't even realize they're being kind of like a little bit too heckly, and so they need that kind of like, listen, I'm not a superhero, you know. If I could, I'd be making millions, you know, stealing from banks. I'm here doing entertaining, you know. So once they understand that, and they realize you're a cool dude or you're a cool performer, I think a lot of people kind of relax. So you got to really think that through and really analyze your performance. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. If you did it, you find this educational, or you know, helped you in any way, do leave a like. It helps me out a lot. You know, follow me on Instagram. That's where I've been kind of grinding recently, and I a few updates on there with in regards to when the cameras are fixed and all that kind of stuff. That's where I'm usually updating people. So definitely go check me out there. But anyway, that's about it from me. As always, mad respect, much love, stay lit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!